The bloodline, I've invented the pain. Let the world know the truth, expose the lies. Study the bloodline, the original drive before the Spanish Dutch and the British arrived. Yeah, we was from Africa, so right. That's triple, something that a dirty war with your claim. The nationality of the land gets through, so we study graffiti you wrote. Fake as history, I ain't over here on no boat. Frontin' like you and kids to the land, you disgust me. Tomahawks back in the hands of it. You running around with black power, cause cells, the truth rivers fell where the bull and hell. Native Americans butt hurt, hell, cause they know damn well the truth is ain't no respect the Aboriginal, this land is all you know. All. You still guess, motherfucker. I have one little, two little, three little, grandma's for society, and I'm telling it. I have one little, two little, three little, grandma's for society, and I'm telling it. House the real nigga, fake nigga, real nigga, mossy black, what the deal, nigga, salute on my else, if it's Aborigines, on the of the land, and every goddamn tree, and every goddamn sea, invaders every cross, step foot on the land, that you can step it off, breathe, you can make a swing the sacred tomahawk, fucking around with us, with that black constant, fix a slave ship, that's the reference, if we African, you gon' need more evidence. I'm American, Aboriginal, indigenous. You both need your latest. That shit is rhetoric still. Aboriginal, get out. It's rights act, or you can eat big out. It's Stockholm syndrome, mixed skits. I mean, it's moon, got the antidote. Get that shit out. Me, wow. Rapping about my birth, fuck a freestyle. Each man, each woman, each child. Black, really Indians indeed. Nah, man, nigga, down. Holly, dog, title 18. Those girls gonna be gold, but Phoenix and be smoke. Bring them up, be pose out of the sleep. Oh, we ain't black colors, Africans or Negroes. One little, two little, three little idiot. Grandma's for society, killing them. Tell them, I have one little, two, three little idiot. Grandma's for society, killing them. Telling it.
Osio, Halito, Chamachukma, what's happening, beautiful ones. Hope everything is healthy. Look who I got with me. Say bye. Want to say hi? You want to say hi? Say Halito. Say Osio. What's happening, y'all beautiful ones? I hope everything is healthy. I got my little pack chilling with me this afternoon. Well, this morning, it's still morning out here where we at. Georgia, hot topic. Let me drop the link in the chat. And if you're familiar with what we're going to talk about, definitely pull up the Indians. We were just having this discussion. On Clubhouse, and it's worthy of the big platform. So we're going to get it together. Give me 1 second. Let me put my baby in a high chair and see if she's going to sit with me. You going to share with me? How am I doing? I'm going to share with you and chill. And we're going to unpack this daggone document. This document is absolutely crazy. Georgia, you're wild for this one. We're going to get y'all some straightening. Everything straight. Get straightening, okay? And you know, I think it's a lot of things, and it may appear discouraging and stuff like that. But there's just some things we're going to have to mention as we unpack this here document. Give me 1 second. I dropped the, okay, Cousin Davida, you be on it, baby. Cousin Davida got the petition in there. Let me drop the link. Okay, I did. So I dropped the link. Nikki Sue, if y'all definitely want to join me, here's the link there, Cousin Ish. Give me 1 second. Let me buckle Bay up in his high chair, and we're going to roll. You say hi? You going to say hi? Come on, let's get in the chair. you know. Okay. Let's see. You sit with your grandma while she work? You gonna sit with your mom while she work? Yeah. You gonna sit with mom? The baby gonna sit with mom? Yeah. You gonna sit with mom? How baby? Got to keep my little sugar boo close to me, you know what I'm saying? She don't go to daycare, she go to grandma. That's how we do that here, this generation with this one here. Yeah, let's get to it. This document is out of control. We can unpack it. It's a lot to unpack. Georgia been the Indian for a very long time now. There's a lot of interesting things popping off, right? And I just find it strange because aside from like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Georgia is the hotbed. Let me be clear, the hotbed for terroristic acts against the American Indian. Straight up. I'm not gonna chew my cabbage twice with that. Y'all know I've been saying it for years. How I feel. Love the state. Now this shit is run. They ain't been caring about the Indian for a long time. So we thought, right? And I say so we thought because the Cherokee Nation is looking to change, or excuse me, activate the New Echota Treaty. Did y'all know that? So what does that mean for Georgia Indians? What does that mean for the Georgia Indians? Huh? Whip Shop, I want to play that song. I really would like for you to be on stage here. Y'all got to hear this song. It's fire. It's fire in the hole. Brother Whip Shop needs to sit here with me, go through these songs that he got. You found me here, completely appropriate. Dope song. Absolutely dope song. Shout out to you, good brother. Yeah, you need to get up here. You need to come up here with that fire. We do that another time, but definitely need to have a listening party because that song is flame. Much respect to you. Much respect. So let's pull this document out. This shit, aggravating, but look at what they're doing. While all of these, and let me just say this. There's so many people that got so much shit to talk about. Let me just take this down real quick. Let me just get this down. Can I do this? Let's just do this one. Maybe I'll just take the whole thing off because hold on a second, y'all. Because this is aggravating, man. It ain't going with the green screen and all of that. Yes, I was trying to fix that. Let's pull this fucking document, this little funky document they got going on here. It's just like very bizarre. Here it is. You check out the word in it. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. Oh, let me see. My phone ringing. We're not going to do this now. Okay. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff going on. Let's see. Here they go. Bless you, baby. Bless, baby. Bless. Bless. Okay. Let's unpack this. House Bill 541. Right? House Bill 541. 1 second. Yeah, they play a lot of games. Very interesting document. It's very interesting document. Hey, sister. This is here. Gland's elevations, beautiful. Gland's elevations, beloved. How are you?
I am. Could have been better. Shit.
Right. Now,
And driving on
I feel you.
my way to the office.
Give us your thoughts on this Georgia document before we start unpacking and unloading. Give us, because this document brought about a lot of emotions for us, didn't it?
You see my face?
Are you able to hear me?
Can you hear me?
There you go. How did you feel? Before we start unpacking this, tell us how you felt when you read this document.
Absolutely said. And because Georgia and my family, I respectful. Very doing that. None of this rooted in truth or accuracy. And if you read through the document, also very, very rushed. Let me see. Second, I'm gonna try to stop real. I can, but it was very that I think that they don't. Like I said, the history. If you look through the document, it's a lot about this African that the history just doesn't support that. It just doesn't not. Right. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. I think someone in the chat said that the service is going in and out.
Okay.
So I don't think
I
can hear you.
Let me pause.
Let me drop this here in the chat for you guys to. It's a PDF and I have it saved. I don't think it's going to allow me to drop a PDF. Let's get to this right here. What's the matter, sugar? There you go. Here's the tool.
Hey.
House Bill 541 by Representative Bruce of the 61st, Beverly of the 143rd, Body of the 62nd, Jackson of the 64th, and Thomas of the 39th, and others. A bill to be titled an act to amend Chapter 12 of Title 50 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to commissions and other agencies, so as to create the Georgia Equity and Fairness Commission, to provide for members and officers, provide for meetings, quorum, and compensation, to provide for commission's duties and powers, to provide for reporting, to provide a definition, to provide a short title, to provide legislative findings, to provide for automatic repeal, to provide for related matters, to repeal conflicting laws, and for other purposes. Be it enacted by the General Assembly of Georgia, and this is going to be Section 1. Hold on, get my baby out here. She ain't trying to sit in the house. Right? Georgia's well for this. Section 1, this act shall be known and may be cited as the Georgia Equity and Fairness Commission Act. Section 2, General Assembly finds and declares the following. So they had some investigation already. Okay, so there's no room for that. And while all these naggers got all this shit to talk about how they running around and doing all of this, these folks is slipping this kind of in, right? So they find and declare the following. Millions of Africans and their descendants were enslaved in the 13 American colonies and the United States, including the Georgia colony and the state of Georgia from 1619 to 1865. Well, we know that's not true because Georgia wasn't around in 1619. The institution of slavery was constitutionally and statutorily sanctioned by the United States government from 1789 through 1865. The slavery that flourished in Georgia and the United States constituted an immoral and inhumane deprivation of each African's life, liberty, African citizenship rights, and cultural heritage, and denied them from fruits of their own labor. That's nonsense, right? Let me read that again. The slavery that flourished in Georgia and the United States constituted an immoral and humane deprivation of each African's life, liberty, African citizenship rights, and cultural heritage, and denied them the fruits of their own labor. The preponderance of scholarly, legal, community, evidentiary documentation, and popular culture markers constitute the basis for inquiry into the ongoing effects of the institution of slavery and its legacy of persistent systemic structures of discrimination on living African Americans and society in the Georgia and the United States. Following the abolition of slavery, governments at the federal, state, and local levels continue to perpetuate, condone, and often profit from practices that continue to brutalize and disadvantage African Americans, including sharecropping, convict leasing, Jim Crow, redlining, unequal education, and disproportionate treatment at the hands of the criminal justice system. As a result of the historic and continued discrimination, African Americans continue to suffer debilitating economic, educational, and health hardships, including having nearly 1 million Black people integrated, an unemployment rate more than twice the current white unemployment rate, and the average of less than 1/10 of the wealth of white families, a disparity which has worsened, not improved over time. Section 3, Chapter 12 of Title 50 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated to commissions and other agencies, is amended by adding a new article to read as follows. HB 541 is what we're reading from, okay? Let's see. So Article 10, 512-150, there is created the Georgia Equity and Fairness Commission for examining the impact of slavery on descendants of slaves and recommending appropriate remedies therefore. As used in this article, the term commission means the Georgia Equity and Fairness Commission. The commission is assigned to the Department of Administrative Services for administrative purposes only as prescribed in Code Section 50-4-3. The commission shall be composed of 11 members who are citizens of this state and shall be appointed as follows. 3 members appointed by the governor, one of whom the governor shall select as chairperson. 2 members by the president of the Senate. 2 members appointed by the minority leader of the Senate. 2 members appointed by the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And 2 members appointed by the minority leader of the House of Representatives. All members to be appointed from persons recommended by organizations concerned with the issues of civil rights, human rights, social and economic justice and equality, reparations, and other issues concerning the African American community. All members shall serve for the duration of the commission. Any vacancies shall be filled in the same manner in which the original appointment was made. The committee elects officers other than the chairperson as it deems necessary. The commission may conduct meetings at such places and times as it deems necessary or convenient to enable it to fully and effectively exercise its performance duties and accomplish the objectives and purpose of this article. The commission shall hold meetings at the call of the chairperson. A quorum for transacting business shall be a majority of the members of the commission. Legislative members of the commission shall receive the allowances provided for in Code Section 28(1-8). Non-legislative members shall receive the daily expense allowing in the amount specified in subsection B of Code Section 45721, as well as the mileage or transportation allowance authorized for state employees. Members of the commission who are state officials, other than legislative members or state employees, shall have no compensation for their services on the commission, but shall be reimbursed for expenses incurred by them in the performance of their duties as members of the commission in the same manner as they are reimbursed for expenses in their capacities as state officials or state employees. The funds necessary for the reimbursement of the expenses of state officials other than legislative members and state employees shall come from funds appropriated to or otherwise available to their respective departments. All other funds necessary to carry out the provisions of this article come from funds appropriated to the commission. The commission shall examine the extent to which the state of Georgia supported the institution of slavery in constitutional and statutory provisions. Examine the state's laws that discriminated against freed slaves and their descendants from the end of the Civil War through the era of Jim Crow laws to the present. Examine the lingering negative effects of the institution of slavery on the descendants of slavery in Georgia. Recommend appropriate ways to educate the public on the commission's findings and recommend appropriate remedies in consideration of the commission's findings. In making such recommendation, the commission shall address the form amount, and eligibility for any restitution. The commission shall submit a written report of its findings and recommendations to the governor, the president of the Senate, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and the minority leaders of the Senate and House Representatives no later than 1 year after the date of the first meeting of the commission. The commission shall also make such reports available to the public. The commission shall have the following powers: to accept public or private grants, devices, and bequests, to authorize entering into contracts or agreements through the commission's chairperson necessary or incidental to the performance of its duties, to establish rules and procedures for conducting the business of the commission, to hold the hearings and to request the attendance and testimony of witnesses, and the production of such documents as the commission deems necessary to fulfill its duties. The commission may request and receive information from appropriate state agencies which the commission deems useful in fulfilling its duties. Such agencies shall cooperate with the commission with respect to such information and shall furnish all information requested by the commission to the extent permitted by. So, hold on 1 second. Okay, baby. You can have my phone. You know. So now it goes on to say that the shall have the following powers: to accept public or private grants, devices, and requests, to authorize entering into contracts or agreements through the commissions. I think I read this already. Let me go to this next part. The commission shall be abolished and the article shall stand repealed June 30th, 2023. All laws and parts of laws in conflict with this act are repealed. So that means that the laws that were there regarding the Indian and the discrimination thereof, if there are any, because it seems like it's just been a white issue for way too long. Even at the point where people had the right to self-identify, it still remains a Black life issue. We were speaking with people that indicate that even when they get arrested in Georgia, they're unable to self-identify at that point. It's just Black or white in their system, and that's pretty much what it is. So there's some things that haven't been talked about, and now it's kind of like, the pimples all coming to a head, right? It's like the pimples coming to a head now, and we're starting to see some of these things unfold. And I think it's really interesting. You got a lot of people, right? And I've got to throw this petty bitch shit in there. from Georgia talk cash money shit about how much they doing, right? Feeding homeless and all types of fly shit, but they ain't talking about none of the real shit that's going on in Georgia that affects the Indian long term, right? And that's some of the things that we got to pay attention to. But because of all the indoctrination, there are a lot of people that still think the solution to the Indian problem is to do and think about what they feel people that identify as Black didn't do. It's not the same thing, not the same line of thought, not the same solutions, not the same remedy, right? And I just think that they've been very, very busy while they got the Twitter stuff going on, with all these other folks and everything. That's the distraction. In the background, these other folks have been stealing, perpetuating fraud. All of these folks is in the back figuring out how to maintain their lifestyle. They're not looking for a lifestyle change. Okay? Those $5 Indians from those Dorswells have never been prosecuted. So that means there's at least 3-4 generations of people that have benefited off of fraud. Right? That's right. Yeah. I'll be 1 second, so let me get her a bottle of juice so she be cool. You still
I'm mute. I'm on mute. You know where to start. You know where to start because the document here and from the gate. Let me pull it up real quick. While I'm pulling it up, this is so important. Consider this petition that we're doing. This is the whole point of trying to fight erasure because the hip completely not there. Where is it at? Oh, shiz. But now and messed it up. Hold on. But it talks about these millions. I'm hoping that we do get a chance to dive into some of the hicks of the state of Georgia. There's no the evidence is
really, really choppy.
There.
They have you sounding really, really choppy. I think I'm not going to use stream. I'm use StreamYard, but you sound really choppy.
Okay. I don't know how to fix.
Maybe if you try and come back in, maybe.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it and I'm gonna come back.
Got cousin Ish here. Let me see. 1 second.
I'll see you, cousin. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. How are you? How you doing today? There you go. I don't know why it's sending you out. Hold on. Okay, there you go.
All right. You hear me okay?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's been kind of choppy, the audio and stuff. I hope I'm coming in clear for the audience.
Yes, you're clear.
Cool. Yeah, no, thank you for sharing the space and being able to break this part of it down. It's very, very important of what's going on. And again, if you were able to capture what Cousin Phoenix Spoon was just talking about, if you can see that there's no mention whatsoever of the American Indian, what we're asking for you to do is to sign a petition, sign and share. That's exactly why we've been preemptive on trying to put this information out. because they're trying to pass in laws to erase and remix the entire history. So if you are able to see what we see and what anyone else with eyes and logic can see, that there's no mention whatsoever, because we've done the polls, we've done independent polls on our own. And the average amount is 83 to 85% of the people have been told that they have Indian in their family, or that they're from, an American Indian lineage. But yet there's no mention of that whatsoever. So we have to ask the very key questions. We need to go first to section number 1 and see section number 2, and see what is the first statement that they make on section number 2. Cousin Finny Smoke, can you go to section number 2, please? And let's look at that number 1 again.
Yes, 1 second.
Okay, cuz, thank you. Because they're making assertions on here that really need to be answered, right? So we'll go to section number 2, and let's look at the first point that they make of section number 2. Let's see what it says there. There it is. There's that number 14 right there. That number 14 line. It says, millions of Africans and their descendants were enslaved in the 13 American colonies and the United States, including Georgia colony and the state of Georgia, from 1619 to 1865. That's the assertion that they're making, right? They're making that assertion that millions of Africans and their descendants were enslaved in the 13 American colonies. You got to prove that. You got to prove that you could fit millions of people into 13 colonies, because you made that claim. And if you made that claim and trying to enact laws on that, then explain to us how you get this number of 300,000. Because now you make the claim that only 300,000 came to North America. So where did the millions come from? And how did you fit millions of people into only 13 colonies? Not only have you saying that you could fit millions of people into 13 colonies, but you didn't own the land. The American Indian owned the land because you opened up 25 million acres from the massacre of Fort Mims. And that was in the 1800s. So how did you get millions of people into land that you didn't even own when you opened up 25 million acres in the 1800s? That proved that you didn't own it, because you had to open it up. And you had to do an illegal Indian Removal Act to even get access to the land. So you couldn't have fit millions of people in there, and your own numbers don't give it that. But you're trying to push laws claiming that. And you don't even mention the original owners of the lands who were enslaved. You are the people that sit there, and the proven history and documented history is that in Georgia and South Carolina, you have even the Yamasee. If you have the Yamasee Indians who are described as Negro, they were described historically as Negro. If they're described historically as Negro, how are you going to make them into Africans? How do you differentiate who is the Yamasee and who is the African? You also have the Seminole War. The Seminole War was deemed a Negro war. If the Seminole War was deemed as a Negro war, how do you then differentiate who's the African and who's the Negro? Who's the African and who's the American Indian? But yet you are passing laws negating all of that. You're trying to kente cloth wash the entire history and force everyone to be something that you can't even prove yourself. Historically, genetically, lineage, land ownership, all of that. You're going to negate all of that to try to make us something that we are not. So historically, we could be Negro, but you don't even have anything in place to differentiate what type of Negro that you are. We're asking these questions. And if you can see what we see, we ask for you to sign and share the petition, because this is what we address. We actually have these type of things already addressed in the manifesto that hasn't been revealed yet. But we just did our media blitz, and I want to thank you for the tens, for the hundreds, for the thousands who've already signed the petition. Please sign and share. And this is what we're dealing with. I yield the floor.
Much, cousin. I thank you very much. Again, people can read the document for themselves. Where did these millions of Africans and who are their descendants? Who are they? We have the documentation, and they speak as if they've already done the investigation, and now that they are declaring that this is what it is. What gives them the right, not only what gives them the right, but the audacity, and they haven't spoken to the people. They have yet to speak to the actual people that are affected by it. And again, the petition, it really speaks for itself. We're going to just keep constantly seeing different examples of how the erasure to the American Indian, and how important it is for everybody to act like we don't exist. I want to figure out what is the importance, not only the importance of them perpetuating the fraud, right, but also the importance and dire need to hurry up and rush these things. It sounds like it's the people that do claim African descent, it sounds like they want them to go home. They want them to go somewhere. It doesn't sound, I haven't seen anything about them saying restoring any land, right? Is there anything that we've read thus far that indicates restoring any lands that may have been taken or anything like that? Of course not, because the lands taken did not come from Africans. The lands taken came from Indians that they are trying to now pass off as African. And it looks like some people that haven't done their genealogy are going to be miscategorized, but this time it'll be voluntary. It's happening. Welcome back, Sue.
Hey, can you hear me? Is it still choppy?
It's slightly going in and out, but it, try to communicate with us, sis. Maybe it'll come through.
Okay, man, it sucks to be on with y'all. I don't know now, but what is this? I don't know if you guys how they completely enslaved American Indian Georgia and threw many of their descendants to classified as black and African, and how like you guys said, if you don't do your gene, you're tied to those ancestors. Your implications here outside of just what's any kind of study that they're going to know, that this commission literally wrote it out and said they're going to send people coming.
It's breaking up, sis. The audio's breaking up.
Okay, Lamb. Okay. I don't know what. Default. Okay, how about better?
It's just Restream.
How about now?
I believe it's just Restream. We're not going to use this again. I'll go back to StreamYard for all of this. But I do believe it's the Restream software.
Okay, I tried to do the.
I didn't hear you, so you speak again.
Okay. Switch the audio to see if it'll. If it's still coming through choppier. Were you able to hear me up?
It comes in and out. Unfortunately, it is really choppy. I'm ready to actually just kind of shut down and go to daggone StreamYard so we can actually get through the build without the choppy interruption. Because you know we do have to discuss this. I think Restream is just not performing well right now. How do you guys feel about that? Are you guys okay with that?
You let me know, cousin.
I'm cool with that.
It's my birthday, so I done took the whole day off. It's my holiday. So it's all good.
Happy birthday!
Happy New Year, cousin.
Hey.
I thought it was 2 days ago. I knew it was the first week in October. I just couldn't remember which day.
No doubt.
Brother,
bless the mid 55.
You got them Libras to the Libras. Okay.
So yeah, we can go over to somewhere else, wherever y'all. Yeah, it's Indian business all day. So let's do it.
All right, I'll be there.
Yes, we're gonna start this over, and we're gonna go to StreamYard.
This is I'm aggravated.
All right, you just let me know. I'll be free in like 5 minutes. Let me know.
You got it.
Love you. I'll see you.
Okay. Okay, Shay. Okay, baby. Oh, all of that, and you falling asleep with your phone. You falling asleep with your snack. Come on, go to sleep. Go to sleep, baby. All right, baby. So, okay, Shay. Oh, baby, got the attitude. You got the attitude.